Hey, it's Chris Chico, and this is video 1 of a 3-part series where I'm going to break down for you specifically everything you need to know to generate motivated sellers on Facebook. So by the time you're done, you're going to have a clear picture of how the strategy works, and now you can decide for yourself if this is an avenue that you want to take with your real estate business. And I made some notes here because I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. Now, one of the nice things about Facebook ads for motivated sellers as compared to, let's say, for example, direct mail, is that once you get everything up and running, the financial commitment required for you to start testing this particular strategy is not that much. As an example, when you're doing a direct mail campaign, so you're going to go out and you're going to gather a list of landlords across a variety of different zip codes, and that list could be, a couple thousand to 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 or more individuals that you're going to send your postcard or your letter to. On a direct mail campaign like that, where you have, say, 5,000 mailers, you're talking about at least a couple $1,000s in mailing costs, plus the additional cost for the list and all the other things you need to have in technology, etc., to launch that campaign. So there's a lot of risk involved, because if for some reason you pick the wrong list, you pick the wrong postcard or letter, or you do something wrong, then you've got a lot of money on the line. Now, the benefit to finding motivated sellers on Facebook is that you don't have to make that large commitment. You can start off with a budget of $20, $25, $30 for the day, and you should be able to generate leads that same day. So if you start an ad at 8 o'clock in the morning, by the time the day is over, you should have generated motivated sellers. Otherwise, you're doing something wrong. If you do everything wrong and you screw it up, then that's all you've risked. And if you are doing it correctly and it's working, then you continue to spend more, because then you'll say, hey, I'm going to go out and spend another $30 tomorrow and another 30 days after that. So at the end of the month, maybe you might have spent $1,500 or $2,000 to generate motivated sellers, only because you saw signs at the very beginning of the campaign that things were working, and then you scaled from there. So that's one of the benefits of Facebook advertising as opposed to some of these other methods. So in terms of a budget, my recommendation is that you go into it with the understanding that you're going to spend at least a minimum of $500. I think it's better if you have a budget to spend $1,500 for the month. Keep in mind is that you don't have to send a check or send payment to Facebook for $1,500. You're only committing today to spending $20, and only if today works, then tomorrow you will spend more money. Now, in terms of how much it's going to cost to generate a motivated seller, that's going to depend on the market. Generally, we're looking at a benchmark of how much we're going to pay per lead. For us, that benchmark is $35. That's kind of our baseline. In some markets, we're able to have leads that we can generate for less than that. In some markets, we are going to generate leads that are going to be a little bit above that. But in general, if you take all of them together and you average them out, we recommend being at about $35 a lead. Now, that $35 per lead for a seller is significantly less than what you would pay trying to get sellers on Google pay-per-click. Typically, Google pay-per-click, which is if you go to google.com and somebody types in sell my house fast, if you are wanting to be in one of those advertising spots, you are going to typically spend anywhere between $250 to, as I've seen, as high as $750 per lead. Now, the challenge with that is not necessarily that the leads are bad on Google pay-per-click, but that it's very difficult for somebody to get started brand new. And the reason for that is that because there's very little margin of error. When you do Google pay-per-click, you've got to say, I'm going to continue to spend $100 a day and $100 for the next 5 or 6 days, and hopefully be able to get a lead during that time, just one lead. You may not realize that you've been doing it wrong, or that you're not doing it in the way that it should be done, only after you spent quite a bit of money. It's a viable lead source, but it's a very unforgiving lead source. Now, with direct mail, that also depends on every market. So if you compare Facebook with direct mail is going to be higher. Typically, what I found is that with direct mail, you're going to be somewhere in the 80 to 90 plus. Most of the time, it's $150 or more per lead. So right now, Facebook is able to provide you with a very targeted and less expensive lead. In addition to that, we can also generate leads on Facebook for buyers. And the great thing really is that if you can do that, if you can go and in Facebook today and start generating sellers and also start generating buyers at the same time in any market of the country, which is in fact the case, then it really makes the business so much easier for you just to be able to jump in right away and start getting results and start finding buyers and sellers. So this is video 1 1 in the series. So I want you to go ahead and watch video 2, where I'm going to go ahead and discuss specifically the targeting and how we find motivated sellers on Facebook. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, if you found this helpful, go ahead and click on the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and also make sure you click on the notification bell. So whenever I publish a new video, you can be notified right away.